Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Code and Chill. And today I'm going to create a web app in 30 minutes with the UI and the smart contracts. So let's see how we can do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to open Zeppelin, um, which is a library for uh, smart contracts, and we'll go to contracts and get started. We'll have a wizard, and in the wizard I'm going to go to ERC721. I'll call it social post. I'm going to name my app a social post, and let's give it a symbol SCP. It should be mintable. Yeah. Okay. Auto increment. I want it to be enumerable. Okay, and everything looks fine. Yeah, so I'll just copy this entire thing and open it in Remix. So I want it to be so that anyone can post anything in the Dapp. So I'll call it post instead of statement, and it should be anywhere. So I'll remove this access modifier. This should be enough to create a NFT contract which will create a post, and we'll need some way to store the content of the post, or let's say it's a Twitter post or something like that. We'll need the content that user posted. For that we will create one mapping of U256 to 56, and it should be string and id to string, and I will call it token id to content. Yeah. Okay, so this will give us a token ID, and based on that we'll get a content. Based on token ID we can get a content, and once we will just change this function post address to content memory. Okay, and I'll just add the content in this mapping. Token ID equals content. This should add everything here. We'll need another function. Okay, function get content by ID, token ID, and read token ID returns return string, and this should be view. Public. Okay, now what it will do, we just return the token ID. So yeah, this will give us all the modification that we need for one. We'll compile this. I think there is some error. Returns view token ID function. Compile the contracts. Okay, returns. I'm not sure. Is that okay? Let me just search Solidity view function. So this will access modifier, so public view return, so that was the issue. This will be public view then returns. Yeah. Now let's try to compile it again. This should be memory. Okay, yeah, so this is memory, then it will be this will be string. Yeah, string memory. Anything else? Okay, I want this the owner of the post will be whoever is sending the transaction, so it will be sender. Okay, memory was given, contract, okay, so this is not required in case of, okay, we have a contract ready. We'll deploy this contract in Polygon testnet. Okay, so I have some development in test ematic, and I'm using Polygon testnet. I will just deploy this contract. Yeah, not this one. We'll use MetaMask, and then we'll use deploy. It will ask me to deploy it. And meanwhile, I'll just set up a new folder for our UI. Repos, Dapp, YouTube tutorial. In this, I'll just create a new Angular application. Ng, social post UI. I'll call it social post UI. I want Angular routing. No, for this I want a CSS. Meanwhile, let me check what are the options available. Okay, so this is deployed, and if we see if we do something like test post, and if I post it, I'm sending a post to a smart contract, and I want to check what are the available total supply or total balance. Once it is okay, so I got one token, so it will be one. And if I want to get the content, content and of the token ID, if I give token ID 1, I should be able to see string. Okay, get content by token ID, it will be 0. First one will be 0, so test post, yeah, it's working, and we just need to have to create the UI. We'll just go to okay, open folder, YouTube tutorial, open this. Yeah, what I will do, I will just serve this for now. And in the environment, I will set up some variables, ABI, and I will copy the ABI from here. I think the ABI will be present Yeah, we'll copy the ABI from here. This is the ABI, and we actually need the contract address as well. Contract address, and the contract address will be this one. Set. Okay, so we got both of the important stuff. We'll set up the UI first. Okay, container, and in the container I want a header for the top, header, and I want a feed section. Feed section. Inside the feed section there will be input section, and there will be feeds, feed list, and inside the feed list we'll have individual feed. Okay, and the header section we will need three things, like some brand will need some navigation stuff, and we'll need some buttons and other stuff. And the buttons will have a button, we'll call it connect wallet, and in the feed section, input section, will need one input field, input, and it will be text, and we'll call it give it a class input. Okay, and we'll need another button for posting, like BUTT button. I'll just give like BUTT button, and we'll call it post. Okay, this will create one. Let's see how this looks. So we have all of these are in UI in one chunk. We just have to give some styling to it. Container, and we'll give it display grid direction. Not display grid, we'll think flex will be enough for this. Flex direction will be column, and we'll have the main the feed section will have flex of 1. Let's see. Okay, also minimum height 100% visual height. We also need to set any borders in the body, margin 0. Let's see how this looks. We have a section for feed, which is giving the entire thing, and we'll have one header. Okay, now let's format the header. Header will have dot beer brand. Sorry. Okay, brand. It will have nav. It will have buttons section. Nav will have okay, font size 1.5 rem, color black, and font style italic, and header will have display will be flex, and nav will have flex 1, and the buttons we'll just create one button class here. Button and the button class will have a back. Let me just go CSS gradient generator. Okay, yeah, I just think this will just keep this one only. just copy this part. This will give a red gradient. Border radius 0.5 rem, and I will also want to give a shadow, so we'll just give CSS shadow generator. I use this one. This gives some good beautiful shadows. Copy this, we'll just use this shadow, and I will also give this shadow to the header. So this will make the UI something like this, and currently it's not looking much good. What I will do, min height 50 px or something. This will give some height to it. Align items center, so item center the any item, and I will also put some like association posts. This will create some okay. Font weight bold. Okay. We'll also give some padding to the buttons. Padding 1 rem. It's too much. 0.5 1 rem. Yeah, I think that will be great. I want this to have 1 rem width. Okay. So color white and font weight something a little bit. Okay. Padding. Yeah, this will give some. Okay. So we'll also need to give a padding than this, and give it a 0 padding. Okay, so we have our header, we have a connect wallet button, and what we will do, see cursor pointer, and we will need to now format the feeds. In the feed section we'll display flex. Flex direction will be column. Now align item center. This will put everything in center. We'll have a top margin top like 150 px for now. Okay, so it will start from here. In the feeds we have our input section, we have our feed list. So let's create those two. Input section, and we'll give again display flex, and this will make these two like this. Okay. What I will do now is, okay, I'll create the components, and what I will need the function to connect the wallet. For that we will need ether.js, which is ether.js. What this will do, this will help us to create a connection with the UI or the blockchain. We'll save it while this is getting installed. Connect wallet. We'll also get one feeds observable, behavior subject, and this will have owner string and content string equals new behavior subject, and I'll just copy this part. Where is that? I'll just copy this part and give it a blank feed. Okay, so what will happen, what we have to do is just import ether.js in top, and we'll click on this connect Ethereum to MetaMask. To connect to MetaMask, we have to use these three options. I'll just copy this entire thing, and if you see, it's throwing some errors because we don't have a global file .d.ts, and we will just give DACLA declare var window any. This will throw one error. I wanted this error because I want to get this type, and we'll just use this type. This way we will be able to refer to this global object. I want also this function to be async so that I can use await here, and we'll set up a provider vid ether.js what was that, providers w3 provider, or it can be null also if in case it is not present. So we'll start with null, and we'll also need a contract ether.js contract or null equals null, and once we connect, we will connect to the contract. So to create a contract, we will have this contract equals ethers.contract. We have to specify the contract address, environment.contract address, and have to specify the ABI, and we also need the signer, which is this one. Okay, we'll just add new. So this will create a contract. So we have initialized most of the things. Let me just save it and check if it is working. If this works, okay, we also have to add this to our click method. Okay, I think I have to restart the serve. Also, let me check if there is any error, which is there is. Okay, let me just click on connect. This will just get a provider contract. We have a contract. Okay, so it's connecting based on the things that we saw in the dev tool. Now let's get all the posts. Get all posts. What we want to do, we want to get the last 10 posts. For that we have to know the count of how many posts are already there. Let totals count big equals this dot contract. Before that, this dot contract if this contract equal return. Okay, then what we have to do is get total count. Okay, we have to call this method, which is gets total supply, and it is total ACP supply. This will be an async, and this will be an wait. Okay, so we covered the total supply in big data format. This will be a big number, which is a Solidity type number. I want this to be a integer. Total count equals total count dot to number, and for I okay, so I want this to start from here -1, and I want this to be while it is greater than 100 or 10 minus. This will create a reverse loop, and we will create list out the tokens. Let equals this, and okay, let OW now equal to this dot contract dot okay, what we need is token by index, or owner token of owner of this call function, which is owner of. This will give who is the owner of that post, and will supply the token ID, which is I, and this has to be a wait, and we will also need the content. So this will be content, and we have to call this get post by token ID. Okay, so we have both of the options that both of the things that we need. Post dot push, and this will be owner is owner, and content. Okay, and after that we'll just return this, return posts. Okay, once user connects, we want this function to be called, and this dot feeds dot next, we want this dot get all posts. So this will okay, so this will automatically feed this subject with the new data, and we will get this data in this feed list, ng4, and let post of feeds async. This will loop all the items in the feed, and we will create one owner and post dot content, and this will be post dot ow owner. Okay, so let's see. once we click on, let me just refresh this. I think cursor pointer, and this will be a button. Okay, let me check. Okay. Argument token ID value -1. Okay, let me check. I think, oh, okay, so what happens, there is an error because we don't want this to go in negative value. So in case it will put an and I greater than is equal to 0, this will get rid of that negative option. And if I click here, okay, so we have the owner, we have the test post. I will just create a card from out of that. We'll create a, go to feeds, feed section. Okay, and we will create a border radius of 1 RDM and give it a drop shadow. Okay, let's connect. Okay, we'll just add one here, adding 1 REM. Yeah, so we have one we have a way to view the post. We just need to create the post. For that we will need to create a function, async post content string, and we will again call this function. We don't need this part, we'll only need post, and we will supply content here. Okay, so once this is done, we have to get the value. For that we have ng model, and for this to work we have to import the form module here, module, and this will give us the ng models equals we need to get a variable post field, and I will just, okay, so once we click on post, I think I will not need this part. This will do, post field, and I will just add another condition. If this dot post field equals or this dot post field equals now return, so that just some protection. Now this should create a request to blockchain. Let me just create one. Let me connect first. Once we connect, we have some post, test post 2. I post it, click here, and yes. So just to add we can now check the transaction, this post, and go to the block explorer. And wait for this transaction to complete. Okay, so we have our test post. Once that is done, we will get the test post and it will come like this. So this is our address that I have used to deploy the contract, and this is also which I used to send the post. Okay, so that's it guys. We have created one decentralized app for in which where we so that's it guys. We have created one decentralized app or web3 application where user can post anything and no one will be able to stop this application. This will be in the blockchain forever. Anyone who wants to post anything will be able to post it, and there is no server. Everything is deployed in blockchain. In future I might show you how you can host your UI in a IPFS, so that is also hosted in decentralized manner. Check the GitHub link in the description, and you can also check the IPFS link to get this web application live in Polygon mainnet in the description. See you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe and check out the other videos.